What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Kaliba. Welcome back to another yet epic episode which contains Forex content. So today it is Monday, it's not Sunday. Decided to record a bit later just because I was a bit busy. But now I have time. So we diving into this week's market. I believe it's the week of the 26th or 27th. Oh, okay, it is the 28th, guys. Me and dates. I'm not friendly with dates. I don't know the dates. I don't know the dates. Yeah, but anyways, without wasting more time, please make sure you do like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and mostly turn on the post notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video like this that will help you set up or have a trading plan for this coming week. So without wasting more time, let's jump straight into the video. Alright guys, so we're looking at gold. Remember, someone asked me to analyze gold last week and I did just that. So if you can look closely, this is what happened. I had told you guys that I'm looking that gold will at least sell once it breaks this line. However, I was still anticipating that maybe it will push to the upside for the very last time, touch that point, and then start selling. But I did say once it breaks this line, then you're good to go. And look what happened. The market broke that line, it dropped drastically, and we were kind of hoping that once the market touches this zone right here, the support, the market would push to the overall upside, as you can see right here. As you can see with this arrow pointing to upside, this was the overall anticipation on gold. We are hoping that the market will basically touch the support and then push to the upside, but gold had other plans, right? It was moving for this overall support level. Dive into 4 hours and you will see that it is going for this overall crash right here. As you can see, this crash that happened, so the market is now coming to retest this for the second time, and it's still looking good for a sell. I can tell you, simply because simply because it just broke below this support zone. So I'm looking to sell gold, or I'm looking to short gold based on GBPUSD selling and EURUSD selling as well. Remember, like I said, gold goes with EURUSD. Whenever EURUSD sells off, gold is likely to sell off as well. But like I also say as well, each and every pair has its own price action. So it does not matter how much EURUSD sells. Gold can just be consolidating. So it made sense to me why I said gold will rather buy once it reaches this price, because it's been consolidating and EURUSD has been selling. So that gives me a clear understanding to say, since gold has been consolidating, buyers are very strong at this price. Probably they'll push the market up, and EURUSD this week will be going to the upside. So I'm not quite sure what's happening with gold, but for now it's looking good for a sell, simply because EURUSD is also selling. So right now let's jump on to NZDUSD. All right, so with NZDUSD, we made a lot of money on this pair. If you can check right here, I did say once the market breaks below this price, then we are looking good to sell. And this was a good, decent amount of pips, guys. This was a decent amount of pips. I won't lie to you. That's 111 pips. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money according to me. Plus, we caught this trade all the way from that top right there, as it was a double top. I did say once the market breaks, let me drop to 60 minutes. I did tell you that once the market breaks below this price, then we were good to sell. And the market did just that. It sold off, got to the support, market consolidated, it made another break, we took more entries and we made more profit. And remember, this is all in 1 week. This movement happened all in just 1 week, which is the previous week that we come from. So this one pair paid quite good. So the next direction on this pair, let's quickly dive back to 4 hours. So the next big thing on this pair is that I see right about here, there's some type of a support. There you go. So there's just about another support all the way to the left hand side. Every time when the market touches this zone, something happens. There's a reaction. It's either it goes back down or it goes back up. It always retests, right? So one of two things can happen. The market can either break this zone and the market can continue going down, and if that happens, then we're making more money. But to my understanding, this looks good like an M, but now the market needs to form some type of a head and shoulder. If I can zoom out, you would see what type of a head and shoulder I'm talking about. So this is the first shoulder right here, and this is the head. So what I'm expecting is either some type of consolidation. The market will be playing between these two prices just about here, and then in the long run the market then will continue selling, right? So this is the type of head and shoulder that I'm seeing. So this week NZDUSD is looking good to be kind of buying and playing between this price, this zone, and this other zone. So it would make sense to me to rather wait for NZDUSD to sell off before, or to break this zone before I can take more selling entries. So with that being said, NZDUSD is still looking good for a buy this week, and your first take profit should be this one. And once the market breaks below this support zone, then you should take your sell opportunities. Now looking at USDJPY, this is a 4-hour time frame, and this pair has been selling off. And if you remember quite well, last week I did tell you guys that this pair is looking good for a buy, right? But we were still on a selling opportunity at market open. And if you check right here, the market sold, right? It sold, and then it came back with an engulfing candlestick, and look what happened. The market has been pushing to the buying side overall, right? So USDJPY is actually looking good for a buy, and it just broke this resistance, also this one as well. So it gives us an overall buying opportunity. But right now we are back at this previous support, which is now looking good for a resistance. Hopefully the market breaks this level to the upside, and we continue having a buying momentum on this pair. And the next take profit, or take profit one, can be this zone right there. Take profit two can be this one at the very top right there. And yeah, GBPUSD, remember guys, oh sorry, not GBP, but USDJPY is still looking good for a buy. Looking at 1 hour time frame, sorry, daily chart, simply because we're coming from a support zone, right? Remember, I have been anticipating this this movement. Let me change this one to something white-ish. All right, so I've been anticipating this buy for a month now. So we are hoping that USDJPY starts to respect the market, because we started to buy from here and it went all the way up, but it did not go for the overall resistance level right there. So that's what we are looking at. So USDJPY is still looking good for a buy until it touches that point, but this pair is quite stubborn. It's doing its own things, simply because, I don't know, USD is a superpower currency on its own, so it does its own things. It really does not respect what the market is saying. But if you go to a small time frame like 1 hour, you'd understand why USDJPY keeps on doing what it's doing, keeps on selling and buying at certain prices, simply because the small time frames, or the small they are smaller support and resistance on smaller time frames, right? Like this one, we spotted a sell, and now we just spotted a buy. So right now we are on some type of a previous support. Now it's a resistance. So what we're going to do is, now we are hoping, or not hoping, basically we are looking what the market is doing right here, and should it give us another buying opportunity like right now. It's something that I'm seeing. Let me add this line. So I don't know what type of a pattern is this one. There's too many, but it's some type of a triangle, rising wedge, whatnot. So it looks good for those who know the ABC, whatnot. This looks like A, B, C, D, E, and this right here is a buying opportunity. So USDJPY is actually looking good for a buy this week. Place your stop loss somewhere just below this this market price, right? Below this zone and below this trend line, you can just place your stop loss just about there. Doesn't have to be that much of too many pips. You can just make it maybe 20 pips. That's 200 points stop loss, and then overall you hold until that potential resistance level for your take profit 1. So USDJPY is actually looking good for a buy. You can buy this pair this coming week. Yo guys, my voice is shaky. I don't know what's happening, but right now we're looking at EURUSD. I don't know, my voice sounds so funny. So EURUSD, like I said, we finally broke the ultimate super mega support level. So what's happening right now is euro is likely to take a buy, retest this level once more time, and continue selling. But right now, all I'm looking at is just selling this market. This market looks good for a sell. I don't care what happens. I don't care who says what. I'm just selling this. Looking at this price, we're having some type of a channel inside here. All right, so what's happening here is that the market is just playing between these two prices, right? So a small pullback to the upside might happen, and then we are going ultimate to the downside, simply because, like I'm saying, the market has already broken the mega support level on 4 hours, right? This is the level that I'm referring to. So the overall direction is to the downside, and if you check properly, my first take profit is this one. That's where I'm looking to exit, or rather this can be the second one, and let's make this first take profit, right? So this can be your first take profit, which is the market is about 1.13850. Just make it that price. And the second take profit will be at 1.11960. So that's the second take profit. EURUSD is actually looking good for a sell. Start looking for selling opportunities on this pair, which also makes sense why gold is selling, right? I can tell you gold is going to sell for quite some time. Looking at EURUSD that it's selling, but gold in an overall direction is a good market to buy, right? But for now, gold is just keeping on diving into the downside, giving into the downside. So you don't want to be buying and telling yourself that you can hold that pair. It will blow your account, especially if you have small accounts. So just continue looking for sells on gold, continue looking for sells on EURUSD. It is a clear direction that the market is selling right now. It might come back to just retest this level, but overall direction is to the downside. So, and we back with GBPUSD, the most amazing pair that I make money on each and every week, each and every day. I'll put on a screenshot right now just to show you how well we've been doing. We've been taking sells on this pair, no buys, nothing like that. We're just gonna wait for a selling opportunity. But if the buying opportunity, of course, it's clear, like this one, we did make money on it and we capitalized on a sell as well last week. But now one thing has been happening. The market has been consolidating. It broke this level fine, but now it's not giving in. It's not looking to give in, you know, the profits that we are looking to get to. Let's take profit. To me, it makes sense why it's doing this when I look at GBPJPY, right? Remember, these pairs, they do correlate, they do the same thing. So GBPJPY is already on some type of support on 4 hours. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is GBPJPY, and if you look at this pair right here, this is the support I'm currently talking about. So the market touched the support and now it's looking to rally all the way to the upside. So it makes sense to me why GBPUSD never really gave that much last week, because I remember I was holding that pair and it only sold for 2 days. For the rest remaining 3 days, it's been choppy. So we managed to make profit, but we gave back some profits because we were hoping that the market will continue to sell. Unfortunately, it did not. So however, we did capitalize on a sell. But like I'm saying, it makes sense why GBPUSD is not selling that much, simply because GBPJPY has found its support. Hopefully that the market will still continue looking at EURUSD, and also on the prediction of GBPUSD itself. If you look at GBPUSD itself, still an overall selling market. Let's look at the weekly chart. If y'all remember from the previous weeks, I just zoomed out the whole chart, and you will see that definitely the market is on a selling market. We've been analyzing this 2 months back or a month back. Look what's happening. The market has been bouncing on this trend line. Right now we just came from this trend line and the market is moving somewhere at just around there. So this is a good confirmation that the market is actually on a selling market. Dropping to all these small time frames like your 4 hours, you clearly see that the market is actually selling, right? The momentum is to the downside, so it makes more sense that you sell. The more the market breaks a support level, you look for more selling opportunities. So right now, let me give you a quick analysis on GBPUSD. Should it break this zone right just about there, then we are looking good for a sell, right? Let me put also this line right here and create some type of a channel. So drop to 1 hour to make sure that the lines are seated well. There you go. So this also looks good. It's like is it a falling wedge, rising wedge? I don't know, but it's something like that. So it's also those ABC. It's A, B, C, D, E, right? So this is the E, and we are looking to sell this pair. So it makes sense why we should sell GBPUSD for those who do the ABC or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not quite familiar with that price action, but I know what I'm talking about anyways. So what you're supposed to do with this pair is sell GBPUSD, look for good opportunities. The market is about to sell today. That's one thing I understand, simply because we're still on this retest of a resistance, of a support, previous support, which is now a resistance. That makes sense. And the market is actually having a small support just about there. Let me put this line or this zone. We're still having this small zone on 1 hour, so it makes sense to me why the market fell. If it goes all the way to the upside, fine. We still have this trend line. I'm gonna take another sell. If it breaks above this trend line, then we're looking good for a buy all the way till that price. But with me, I'm more hyped about selling this pair, so probably I'm gonna risk my money selling this pair all the time. So GBPUSD, it's a sell. This is USD Canada. I remember this pair, I said we are looking for a sell, but it made sense to me why it was buying, simply because USDJPY was a buy. If you remember last week, I did say Donald Trump had some agreement with, I think, TikTok or something like that. There was just good news over the weekend that the US will push to the upside, and this exactly happened. The market pushed back inside this big channel on a daily time frame. If you remember, we had this big channel. The market broke to the downside, but it failed to break this low. So it makes more sense why the market is buying. USD Canada is on a buying trend, simply because also USDJPY is on a buying trend. So it should make sense to you why you have to buy the USD currency. So with me right now, I'm hoping that the market would give me a good clean setup. Now remember, I don't trade with hopes, but me hoping that the market will come to my zone, and then I can take that clean entry. But should it not come to my zone, it's still fine. What I'll do is put in this trend line. The market is almost touching that trend. I was hoping that it would come back to this price for the very last time, and then I'm going to take a buy. But understanding how powerful USD can be, it can push non-stop to the upside without retesting that much. So it can only have small pullbacks, but not the pullbacks that you're anticipating. So to me, it makes more sense why I would start buying from this trend line. Maybe even be safer, buy once it breaks this resistance level. Once the market starts playing above this, you can just place your buy stop right there, and the market pushes all the way to the upside with you, and we capitalize on this pair the most. USD CAD, it's actually looking good for a buy just about till this price. Let's go back to 4 hours and see something. Okay, so this looks like some type of a resistance from a weekly time frame that was broken. Now we are looking to retest. Probably will be playing between these two prices until the market overall breaks to the upside towards this one, because it still looks like USD is actually good for a buy for these remaining months of the year. Simply because also Euro USD is selling, so USD CAD is looking good for a buy, and Euro USD is looking good for a sell. So it makes most sense to me why you should buy the dollar and sell the euro. GBPAUD is another pair. Let's dive into this pair real quick and see if we can make sense out of this one. Remember, all about you making sense. The market has to make sense to you, so I'm just gonna draw this line just about like that. I'm gonna put probably this also clean channel. All right, so we have a channel to the upside. The market just broke, came back for a retest, pushed to the downside. Now it's coming back for another retest, right? So it's giving us more opportunities to sell. GBPAUD is a good pair to sell, simply because of the data that I've collected so far. Let me start this trend from here. So we're having this type of a downtrend, and inside, or rather just about here, we still have this, this resistance zone. So the market might be pushing overall for that zone and continue going to the downside. So GBPAUD, remember this is a daily time frame. Now it would make more sense probably if we drop into something like an hour time frame as well. And with the hour time frame, you can see we have had a good buying week to the upside. It has this nice channel right here. So we actually had this nice channel to the upside. As you can see, the market has been playing, and we have this resistance zone that the market has been failing to break. But after a while, the market pushed with so much power to the upside, so that the buyers who are not in, they'll find the market up there, and it would be late for them to buy, and they know they're going to trap them. Once they start buying from now, the market is actually looking good for itself, because it makes no sense for you to buy when the market is now close to a resistance trend line, you understand, or rather a resistance zone. Because if you check right here, there's a huge resistance on 1 hour time frame. Every time the market touches just about this price, this is a smaller resistance, it sells off. So it makes no sense for you to start buying this pair. You can risk it if you understand what you're doing. If you are to buy this pair, I'd rather put this like this, start this trend almost like a trend. Well, let's start it from here, right, so that it has 2 points. This is not a point yet, simply because the market is still playing from this price. So it makes more sense now. This is a third point, just this one makes sense for you to buy. Hopefully the market breaks above this price, and then you can be able to take more selling opportunities to the upside. But you have to scalp this market, because like I'm saying, it's very close to the support. It makes no sense. Looking at the risk ratio, what are you risking? What are you risking? You're risking this whole downtrend for just this teeny tiny uptrend. It makes no sense. But anyways, buy GBPAUD from this current price and scalp it till that price. But the overall direction that I'm anticipating, that I'm most interested on, is that should it break below this trend line, then we are going for this retest right here. And once the market is on this retest, then we can look for more selling opportunities. It does not mean now that simply because you see the bigger time frame is a sell, you're gonna sell non-stop. No, you're gonna have to drop to smaller time frames, see the relevant support and resistance levels, your exit and your entry points, and just take it bit by bit. You just need to take your pie and exit. That's it for today's video. GBPAUD is looking good for itself. It makes no sense for me to buy from this price, but you can scalp it if you're a scalper. So for me, that's it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure you like this video, you share with family and friends, subscribe to my channel if you have not. And if you are new, also make sure that you do turn on the post notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Other than that, it was your boy Khalil, and I'm out. Peace.